Looking good, Fran. Welcome back to the show. You lived in New York for most of your life. How do you love New York during the holidays?
Well, let me put it to you this way. I'm not as merry as you might imagine. And on Monday, I had dinner in a restaurant right here in this neighborhood. Very poor choice. The restaurant's good, but the location, not this time of year. I came out of the subway on 6th Avenue into an impenetrable mob of 1 million people.
Yeah.
I turned the corner to where I'm at Rockefeller Center. The tree was up, not lit. A woman came up to me and said, "Do you know where the tree is?" I said, "Yes, I do." She said, "Are you going to tell me?" Yeah. So, by the way, this tree is the size of Mount Rushmore, right? Okay. I mean, Stevie Wonder could find it. I said, "Turn around."
Yes. It's...
Lo and behold.
Yeah, turn around. It's,
there it
yeah,
is.
that's where that tree is. Aren't people unbelievable?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did feel like following her and saying, "And by the way, you know you can't vote." Okay. So, like, this is the Republicans are always trying to give people voting tests.
Yeah.
Here's the voting test. If you can't see the tree, which is right behind you.
Yeah, you can't vote. You can't. I was asking you about the holidays because I don't know if you know this, but they have a Fran Lebowitz ornament that they sell. Look at this.
Yes.
Is this the coolest thing?
Yes, they have it, okay? I want to point out, this is not mine, by which I mean this is not authorized by me. I don't actually have merch, okay? So,
you had no idea that someone made it?
No, last year, well, they made it last year.
Yeah.
And that's when whoever they are, okay?
You don't
and
have
people
merch.
started showing it to me and said, "Oh, look, it's this great thing that you have." I said, "It's not mine." All right, I realize it's me. It looks like me quite a bit, I realize. It's probably also the only Christmas tree ornament with a cigarette. Which I hope catches on. Yeah. And all my friends, I kept telling my friends, all my friends bought them. Everywhere I went last Christmas, and this was.
Yeah.
Okay? So someone said, "Well, if you didn't authorize this, you should sue them." So first of all, here's the upside of being old.
Okay.
Not that it's worth it, but the upside is this. You learn that no matter how bad a problem you have, if you want to make it worse, call a lawyer. So I said, no.
Yeah.
Well, you could sue them if you knew who they were.
Yeah.
I said, "I'm not suing them."
Yeah.
Like, at this point in my life, I would only call a lawyer if I was in police custody.
Okay.
Which, in this administration, is not impossible.
Very may well happen. I want to mention you're doing some shows, an evening with Fran Lebowitz. You have a show in Los Angeles on March 12th. Tickets went on sale today. But you're also doing a show in Carnegie Hall on December 12th. Sold out. Sold out show, Carnegie Hall, Fran Lebowitz. My question to you, did you ever think that you would ever play Carnegie Hall?
Yes. But not in this manner. When I was a child, I played the cello. And being a child, I didn't realize how poorly I played the cello. I was the 5th cello in my grammar school orchestra out of 5, and deservedly. On the other hand, I thought, well, Debbie's not that much better than me. But then my grandmother bought me a Pablo Casals record, and I heard the cello, like sublime cello, and I thought, Fran, you can't do this. So that dream was over. No, this, I never really thought about it.
Carnegie Hall.
Yeah.
Have you ever been?
Yes, not many times, but a few times I've spoken in Carnegie Hall. Like, the National Book Awards used to be there. I once did an AIDS benefit there, but never in this particular way.
Wow, it's amazing. And it's one of the most legendary places in New York.
And the backstage is pretty small, I want to point out. Not as bad as here.
That wasn't my fault. That wasn't my fault. You were in a small dressing room. I'm sorry about that.
Yes, I mean, whoever designed this dressing room must also be a hotel room designer. So
it's not that bad. Why? What is that hotel room designer?
Well, I always feel that whoever designs hotel rooms should have to spend at least one night in the room, okay? so that like, they should realize, like, I spent half my life in hotels, so it used to be all over the world.
Yeah.
The shower, for instance, red, hot, blue, cold. Now, I have to get in the shower with my glasses to see. And it's like literally like warm, hot, craft beer, apple cider, herbal tea.
Yeah.
And then the shower head. Now, I'm not that tall, let's face it.
Okay, yeah.
I get in the shower, I have to duck. Okay? It's like, who's the shower made for? Thumbelina. I get out of the shower, I put on the rope,
Yeah.
LeBron James. It's like, the sleeves are like this.
They have to live in the hotel at least one day if
Yes,
they're doing it.
at least one
Now,
day.
when you do your shows, there's a part of the show where it's a Q&A.
Yes.
Where the audience will ask you questions.
Yes.
And I think that's kind of fun.
It is fun.
Yeah.
I really enjoy doing that.
You do?
Yes.
Do you like, because I know you for a long time now. You don't have a cell phone, you don't have a computer, you don't have Wi-Fi.
No, but I have
yeah.
Carnegie Hall.
But you have Carnegie. Not bad. Not
It's
bad.
a wonderful substitute for a cell phone.
Well, yes. But do people come up to you and show you phones and go, you should
Oh,
go?
people are. First of all, my own sister asked me if I knew what a laptop was. So I said, "Why would you ask me that?" She said, "Well, I know you don't have one." I said, "That's true, but let me ask you this: do you know what a Rolls Royce is?" Because I know you don't have one. And so, yes, people are always in the street showing me their phones.
Yeah.
They're like a young guy, like 20-year-old guy, is approaching me on the sidewalk, and he has his phone turned toward me, and he looks incredulous, and he says, "It's a photo. It's a picture of me when I was like 24." He goes, "Is that you?" I said, "No, that was me. Okay, this is me." And he looked so horrified. I said, "You know, this will happen to you too." There's not a lot of choices in life like you think there are, okay? There's 3 ways to look: young, old, or surgical. Okay? All right? So you're young and you look young, and I used to be young and I looked young.
Yeah.
And then I just skipped surgical and went to this.
Yeah, I love this. Fran Lebowitz, everybody. If you're in LA, go see Fran live on March 12th at the Wilshire E. Bell Theater. Tickets are on sale now. We'll be right back with more Tonight Show. Oh, my God.